So the Phillies were able to get a big, well, I won't say big, but they were able to get a series win against the Royals. They took 2 of 3 from them over this past weekend. It was really good, and on top of that, by way of the Giants losing their series with the Dodgers, the Phillies are now in the playoffs. They became the second team to clinch a playoff spot after the Brewers clinched one a little earlier this week. So the Phillies are in the playoffs, and step one of our 2025 goals have been completed. But there's still fish to fry. There's still a whole lot to play for. There's still the NL East to win, which should be pretty much a given any day now. And then there's still the first round bye that we can clinch. We probably won't get the second seed, or excuse me, the top seed in the National League. That will probably go to the Brewers. Let me just check what the standings are really quickly. The Phillies are currently sitting at 89 and 61. The Brewers are 91 and 59. Okay, so there's still a chance. There's still a chance for us to get the top seed in the National League. The Brewers have been on a little bit of a skid the last couple of series. I think they lost to the Cardinals. Let me see here. The Brewers, they lost their last game to the Cardinals, but they did win the first two. They were swept by the Rangers. They were swept by the Rangers. And so that kind of brought them back down to earth a little bit. It would have been nice for us to win yesterday, because they lost their last game of the series to the Cardinals. So it would have been nice for us to win and close the gap. But there's still 2 weeks of baseball left to play, and a lot can happen. So everything that the Phillies want is still in front of them. Everything that's worth clinching is still there. So this last series against the Royals, it was a mixed bag. It was good that we did win the series, but that first game we won 8-2 against them. It was a good offensive showing. We scoring 8 in back-to-back games. The second game of the series was a little bit closer. Salvador Perez, he went deep twice, I believe, in that game. But we had enough offense to really separate ourselves to the point where we didn't have to worry about a late game rally from them. Walker Buehler made his first appearance for us on Friday. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, struck out 3. It wasn't a bad outing. It wasn't a bad start. I mean, he went 5 innings, and he was able to get the win, which was nice. Importing him over from Boston, he was not having a good year for the Red Sox, but his first start in the Phillies, it was solid. It was solid. Hopefully, the more he pitches for us, the more integrated he'll become, and with the rest of the team, and he'll be eligible for the postseason roster because we acquired him prior to September 1st. So, just hopefully having him on the team more and having him get more comfortable pitching with us That it won't totally make up for the loss of Zach Wheeler, but if he can just give us solid, if not unspectacular outings, that'll go a long way to helping us collectively pick up the slack in Zach's absence. And then on Saturday, we closed out another win. This one was a little bit closer. We won that game 6-8 against the Royals. We had a I guess you can call a solid outing from Taiwan Walker. He too went 5 innings, but he gave up a little bit more in the run department. He gave up 4 earned and 7 hits, and he too was not able to get anything more than 3 strikeouts. But we did have some good offensive performances in those first 2 games. Bryce went deep. Kyle Schwarber, he went deep. Brandon Marsh had a home run in that game. So yeah, again, it was really good offensive performances from some of our key guys, and that's what you want to see. Harry Bader 3 for 5 with a couple of runs scored. We've been doing well in the absence of Trey Turner. Trey Turner, he's been out for about a week now. He should be eligible to come off the injured list, hopefully sometime by the end of this week on this road trip that we're about to go on. But the offense played well those first 2 games, and they were a big reason why we were able to win the series. The last game of the series is really what I just want to talk about, what I just want to focus in on for a little bit. Aaron Nola, he had been pitching well the last couple of starts that he made, and he started out good this game. He started out good. I was at the game. I was there in attendance, and he was pitching well. I mean, he had about 20 pitches or so through the first 3 innings of play, so everything was running smoothly. Kyle Schwarber, his first plate appearance, first swing, goes deep. A couple of batters later, JT went deep. So it's looking like this is going to be a great afternoon. It's looking like we could possibly win the National League East in front of our home fans. And then came the 6th inning. Usually Aaron Nola, if he's going to have an inning where he just totally implodes, it was the 4th inning. But it was really the middle of the game, the 5th inning. The 5th and 6th inning is really what did Aaron Nola in. And it started with the home run by Caglione, however you pronounce his name. He had a 2-run home run off of Aaron Nola that tied the game, and then going into the 6th, it was 2-2, and then that's when the floodgates opened. It started with a Bobby Witt triple. Bobby Witt was able to hit the ball into the sweet spot of the field, and he was able to get to third. A batter later, Vinny Pasquantino, I think he was able to get on. He was able to plate Bobby Witt home. He got on. Then a batter later, Michael Garcia, he was able to get on, and so now we've got 2 guys on for the aforementioned Salvador Perez, and he really blew the doors off this game. He hit a home run, a 3-run home run, which really left no doubt about the result of the game. He finished the game with 5 RBIs and really, put the nail in the coffin for the Phillies. There was no coming back for us in that game. And then a couple of innings later, the Royals were able to kind of pile it on. And the only thing that we were able to do from that point was a Bryson Stott home run in the 8th inning. It looked like we may have a chance to, I don't know, maybe make a comeback. Some of those late game heroics that we have been in the habit of doing the last couple of games, but the Royals weren't having that. They played it 2 more for the ultimate final score of 10-3. It's if we're gonna go far in the playoffs, if we're going to make the kind of run that I think we can make, Aaron Nola, he's got to be sharper, and I understand leaving him in the game because he had been playing well, and we just saw a couple of games ago with Jesus Luzardo where he ran into some trouble earlier, and Rob Thompson trusted him to be able to stay in the game, and he from there pretty much pitched a perfect game. He was able to pitch 8 innings, and I talked about it before. He pitched 8 innings, giving up 4 runs. You rarely see that. That's something that you just don't see. A pitcher giving up 4 runs and still being able to basically go the entire game. So you want to leave Aaron Nola in and see if he can figure it out. See if he can get back on course. But that wasn't the case yesterday. Aaron Nola, he's going to have to be sharper. I mean, we're getting down close to crunch time. The playoffs are going to be starting in 2 weeks. And, again, Zach Wheeler is not coming back this year. Zach Wheeler, if I'm being honest, Zach Wheeler may have pitched his last game in the majors, with the blood clots in his shoulder that he's dealing with. So he might not be, this could potentially be his career, and I feel like he deserves to have a championship on his resume because he's been that good of a pitcher throughout his career. I don't think it will be, but you never know. You never know, especially with him talking up, being being wanting to only pitch for a couple more years. So, but that's a discussion for another day. Getting back to Aaron Nola, we're going to need him to be the Aaron Nola of a couple of years ago. I'm talking like 2021, 2022 Aaron Nola. This Aaron Nola that we've had this year, it's just not going to cut it, man. It's not going to suffice. It's not going to be good enough for us. For where we're trying to go. And that goes for the rest of the staff too. All those guys are going to have to be better. We're going to have to be on one when October rolls around. Now that we're officially in the playoffs, it's time to use these last couple of weeks as kind of like, fine tuning everything. I think that each of these guys will probably get maybe a couple more starts, maybe 2 or 3 more starts at the most. And so these starts that they get, we're going to need them to really, really hone in and really sharpen up their stuff to make sure that we're ready to go for the playoffs. We got a really big series coming up. That Brewers series was big. But this Dodgers series might be just as big, if not bigger, because the Dodgers are trailing us for that second first round bye. What did they? They won their series against the Giants this past weekend. I don't know how close they are behind us. Let me just see real quickly here. The Phillies are 89 and 61, and the Dodgers are 84 and 65. So they are about 3.5 games behind us for that second first round bye. So this is a big series. This is a big series for the Phillies if we're going to separate ourselves and make sure that we're not playing baseball right away after the season ends. And the Phillies are kind of at a disadvantage because we just played yesterday and now we're traveling cross country to play 3 games on the West Coast. We can talk about that being fair or not. No, we're not going to make any excuses. We have to go out and play against a good baseball team with some great players. You look at obviously Shohei Ohtani. He's the face of that franchise right now, but let's not forget about Freddie Freeman. We remember him plenty from his days when he was with the Braves. Teoscar Hernandez. What's his name? Will Smith. There's other guys that I'm just drawing a blank right now. Oh, Mookie Betts, of course. How could I forget Mookie Betts? Max Muncy. They've got a championship caliber team. Let's not overlook just how good the Dodgers are, and they are the defending World Series champions. So we've got our work cut out for us in this series. It's not going to be easy, but nevertheless, it's still important that we win this series and we separate ourselves from them, because God forbid we get swept and we tie up with them for the National League for that second wild card, for that second bye. My mind's all over the place. For that second bye, it's not going to be good. We will have lost all momentum, and we could very well find ourselves playing on wild card weekend, which is something that we want to try and avoid. We need to get that second bye so that we can get as much rest as we can for our guys going into the playoffs. So it's really important that we win this series. 2 out of 3, I'll take 2 out of 3. But if we could somehow find a way to sweep, that'll be good for us. Because again, we're playing on low energy right now. To play in Philadelphia, like I mentioned, and then the very next day to play 3,000 miles almost across the country, that's a big ask for us. But I feel like we're equipped to do it. We always play well against the Dodgers too. We always seem to thrive whenever they're on the docket. So let's try and win this series. Let's try and win this series. We're clearly in the home stretch now. It's everything that we want, like I mentioned, is in front of us. The division, the first round bye, the National League, the World Series, everything is still there for the taking. So let's shape up. Let's make sure that we're well rested and get ready to try and go into LA and get out of there with a series win and give ourselves some confidence as we head into the final 10 games of the season. It's going to be a big deal for us.